What's up, family? This is Gina Ifoe, the one and only African superstar. I'm going to wait for a few people to get into the chat room for this one. Please make sure when you come into the room that you like the stream. This is a subscriber only chat. All right. So that means it's only for those that are subscribed to the AfricanSuperstar.com. Big shout outs to our members only who are designated by this circle next to their name. They are supporting our platform on a monthly basis. They also are privy to a special behind the scenes vlog, AfricanSuperstar.com discounts, and so much more. So please make sure you join us if you would like that additional behind the scenes. I want to talk about this topic because I was actually reflecting on a video that I got from, one of our longstanding viewers, Mr. Sai from the UK. He sent me sometime last year a video clip of Dr. Martin Luther King talking about how he didn't want to be a martyr and how he didn't want to die for the cause. And, it's interesting being a social media content creator. A lot of your viewers will provide you lots of things, clips and articles and all kind of information. And I would say that this clip that Mr. Sai provided me was some of the most profound, you know, footage I ever saw, because the way people would like you to think is that, Dr. Martin Luther King was this docile guy and he was, he's this champion of civil rights and nonviolent. And here you have a young Dr. Martin Luther King talking about, the associated cost of the path he was taking, how he didn't want it to take his life, how he didn't want to die for the cause. I realized that things haven't changed for us because we refuse to change. You hear people say it all the time. Oh, the same things are going on than what's going on back then. The only thing that hasn't changed is our response. We're still responding exactly the same as we've been doing for decades, and that response is not yielding us the results we want, but we don't want to take the necessary steps. We don't want to do what's required to really put ourselves in a different situation. There's other examples of foreigners that have come, for instance, to the West for any particular reason. And they're always mindful of their homeland. They're always thinking about making situations better at home or their family back home or whatever. We have tried to make ourselves, a home in these foreign lands. We try to kind of just try to settle and adapt. And that's not working. It's clearly not working. We are not getting change because we fail to change. The things that Black people, for instance, in 2021 are complaining about, they're identical to the concerns of, I wasn't even born in 1963. Okay. That was 20 years before I came along. And yet, the Black people of that day and age were complaining about the very things that now I am experiencing in my lifetime. That should tell you something, guys. Changing course is where it's at. Changing course is what we have to do if we want to get ahead. We're struggling to matriculate and we're being stubborn about it. We're being stubborn about the fact that we're not flourishing in these lands. That it's having an adverse effect on our family and our kids and our psychological well-being. We are seeing a lot of our peers take advantage of so many things on the continent. Everything from better social environment, better weather, freedom for their kids, better quality food. We see that. But some people are still holding on. Well, and they have their laundry list of excuses that they want to give about why they want to be in the environments that they want to be in. Guys, when we look at the problems exist because we don't want to innovate the solution. If, for instance, Black men had a brotherhood, All right. Let's say black men had a brotherhood in America, 2021. That, when one of their brothers was affected some kind of way, some kind of tragedy happened. So let's say the black men in America had a brotherhood. And then George Floyd got choked out. Okay. And all the black men refused to XYZ. The black basketball players refused to play in the tournaments. The black bus drivers refused to drive the buses. The black rappers refused to do their concerts or shows. Hello. You see, those are the kind of things that would actually garner an effect. But those are the kind of things we don't want to do. When the most prominent diasporians or the wealthy diasporians say, you know what, America is no longer suitable. The UK is no longer suitable. I'm moving my operation to the continent. Okay. I'm going to start investing there. I'm going to start building there. It's no secret that, for instance, all these football clubs, basketball clubs, they're all dominated by our people, African origin people. If those people say, you know what, let's form our own leagues, like the Negro Leagues of America. The Negro Leagues came from the fact that the black athletes weren't allowed to play in the mainstream sports with the white people. So they created their own. Hello. When blacks like myself say, I'm not going to be subjected to racism, I'm not going to deal with it, I'm going to go elsewhere. You see, but we don't want to do the solutions that will actually change the course of things. We're still doing the same things that they were doing back, for instance, in the 60s. Big shout outs to the family. Make sure you like the video, guys. Subscriber only chat for those of you here. This video, I dedicate this to Mr. Sai. This thought came from a video that he provided to me last year of a young Dr. Martin Luther King talking about he didn't want to be a martyr. I believe it may have been a church sermon, in his church. And he was saying he didn't want to be a martyr, that he was so tired, of the fight, and he didn't want to die, and I realized that the reason why we're still experiencing the same dynamics to this day, like I said, Dr. Martin Luther King, that speech was 20 years before I was even born. What a difference 20 years could have made if we were on the right path, if we had the right direction. We've got to accept the fact that we are failing in our matriculation in these Western nations. We're losing our children. We see them gravitating further and further and further away from their root, self-awareness, culture. And that is not what success looks like. A successful life is a reciprocal life. It's the circle of life, which means when you raise up your kids, they'll be in a better position than you, perhaps. Their life will be sorted out. Their affairs will be sorted out. We see that as we integrate them into the West, they suffer. They start having psychological issues and social issues and love life issues and professional issues. Is that what success looks like? Is that what you thought you were giving? If the answer is no, then it's time to change course. Big shout outs to the family. What's up, guys? Things are not changing because we're not changing. We're not changing. And guess what? I guarantee you this. If we don't do the changes right here to now today, maybe for you, it's an individual change. Like for me, it's an individual change. I've decided, hey, I'm moving to Ghana. In 20 years, I'll be in a different circumstance than those that chose to remain in the West. I'm sure of it. Because I was willing to do something different. I'm not doing picket signs, and I'm not doing protests, and I'm not doing any of that. And I'm not begging for bread or begging for my life. It's time to change course, guys. Are you here? What's up, guys? I don't see you in the chat room. I don't know. Are you around? I want to big shout outs. At least the lights are on count. Thank you, Sarah C. Big shout outs to my moderators. She's the first one in the chat room today. I know people want to come see me. I've been a bit scarce. So yes, it's me. It is now the 10-minute marker. I want to show you guys my brand new African Superstar X Ghana collection. Okay. I have the first advert. Big shout out to members. I only saw it first, but I'm going to now share it with the channel at large. Okay. So after this, let me know what you think about the African Superstar X Ghana. Over 200 new products for men and women. Here we go. Big shout outs, guys. That's my new collection. Just a few of the pieces. I have all the colors that you can imagine. Male, females is going down. Fall and winter 2021. That's the preview. And to go back to the topic, guys, I understand that this kind of mentality is not for everyone. For those of you that are visionaries and those of you that understand and get it, this is time for you to change the course. Big shout outs. Knowledge is power. I'm going to do shout outs in a couple minutes. So if you're here, leave your messages in the chat room and I will greet you. Thank you for the compliment. I'm very proud of my new collection. I couldn't wait to share it with the channel. It is now up at www.theafricansuperstar.com. Members only have a special discount that's available to them on the community tab. So please take advantage of that. Members only. Yes. All right. So when you have the vision about a way to change, a way to implement change, you need to be about that. I see that, for instance, representation. I'm going to tell you what I'm all about if you don't know. Some of you guys are a bit new to my platform, so some of you don't know. I'm going to answer your questions and stuff like that in just a minute, okay? After this point. I realized, for instance, that there was a lack of representation of intelligent Black people in social media, in mainstream media. Okay. That's one of the reasons that I developed this platform. Believe it or not, I'm not really a people person. People that know me actually privately know that I'm a bit reserved from the public. I'm open and I'm very, free and engaging with those that I know, but I would never class myself as a people person, but I do feel that representation matters. That's why I'm here, number one. Number two, with my clothing line, I want to promote our people. Okay. Beautiful designs, bold designs, made for you, by you, marketed to you, by someone who lives the ideology that she preaches. You see, this is part of the solution. We can sit around all day and talk about what's wrong with our people, the things that are confronting our people, until we're ready to provide some solutions. Okay, I'm doing both, providing both representation, providing tangible products. Okay, number three, I also provide an example. I've shown you how to do it. Those of you that have been with me from my previous platform have seen the transition of me going from America to the UK to Ghana. Opening my business, my world travels. You've seen it all. You've gotten a glimpse. It's feasible. It's possible. And no, I'm not a movie star. No, I'm not a millionaire. No, I'm not a scammer. I just use certain means and innovation to make things happen. Big shout outs, guys. I'm coming through to do shout outs now. Okay, if you're here, please leave me something in the chat room. Make sure the lights are up. Big shout outs to my moderators. Anybody with a wrench. Big shout outs to customers at AfricanSuperstar.com and our members only. Sarah C is in the building. She says things in America won't change. That's the title of this video. Nothing has changed because we haven't changed. You know, I said in a previous video, I got to give it to the whites. I got to give it to them. They've been consistent. They've been consistently the way they have been for centuries. We're the ones who don't want to take it as it is. We're the ones that don't want to figure it out. You know, you had at a time, the Asian communities were at a disadvantage. You know, from what I understand, I think it's Vietnam, not Vietnam. Maybe it's Malaysia. I think Malaysia got their independence the same year as Ghana, and they've built up Malaysia and stuff like that. All the other foreigners realize, hey, the West doesn't really accept us. The West doesn't respect us. Let's use their resources, build up our nations, and become a power, become a force to reckon with. I know Dubai also developed in 15 years. You know, the key to developing is first understanding that wherever you are is not your home and making your homeland a priority. Do you know that, for instance, for all the African migrants that are out there in the international community, if our priority was our homeland, oh my God, do you know how lit it would be? This is the year 2021. Okay, let me see you guys paying attention. What was 10 years ago? What year was that? You guys, everybody should be able to get this. Okay, first trivia question. What was 10 years ago? What year was that? What was 10 years ago, guys? Are you guys awake? Are you alive? What year was 10 years ago? Big shout outs. We have Mr. Johnson Blay in the building. I see you there. Knowledge is power. I did a preview of the new collection at 10 minutes. So everybody who was here did see it. Big shout outs to Knowledge is Power. It is now up on the africansuperstar.com. So do head over and check out the new designs. Big shout outs. And Knowledge and Power asked if I ship worldwide. Yes, I do. I actually did a video it was a few months ago when I did an unboxing in Ghana. I had shipped some of my products to Ghana and I received them fine in the mail. I actually only don't ship to 3 countries. One is Afghanistan, the third is Cuba, and I think the third is Iran, you know, but worldwide we ship. So all y'all, wherever you are, we ship to you. Okay? Mr. Take, what's up? What's up? What's up? Sarah is telling you to get the lights up, everybody. Don't be a spectator. Okay, I did ask a trivia question. I'm just trying to get to you guys. What's up, Mr. Jerome Lockhart? I see you there. Dr. Sherry's in the building. What's up, guys? Okay, thank you. We have some scholars that figured it out. So 2011, what's up, Mr. Blockavelli, was 10 years ago. Okay? Imagine, you know, we have very high earning members of the diaspora. Okay, let me tell you, from my experience in the UK, a lot of doctors, medical staff, professionals, usually that's one thing I will say about the African diaspora. They go for good jobs, they go for education, they go for the high paying jobs. Okay, if we were not investing ourselves in the West, and instead we were investing that back home, I always tell you guys, this is why, for instance, Ghana is so nice. Ghana is so nice, not because of, our leadership and, whatever. Ghana is nice because the Ghanaian diaspora has invested back in Ghana. You see? And instead of us duplicating that process all over the continent, and doing the same, in all the other nations, where we can make our own homeland, our own utopia. How long are we going to keep trying to do the same stuff that we've been trying to do that hasn't solved anything, that hasn't won? It's not a winning method. It's time to change course. The problems that we find, the problems that we identify, okay, education. We know that it is vital that we start grooming our children's minds. Why do they think that they're inferior? Why do they subscribe to colonialism and white supremacy? Because that is what they learn. Hello, whatever you learn becomes the framework of your life. You could take a baby, a black baby, all right? You could take a baby from like, let's say you get the baby from Mali and you go drop that baby in Japan and you raise that child in Japan. Okay. They learn the culture, they learn the language, they go to school there. Mentality wise, by the time that child is 18, they will see themselves as a Japanese. Prime example, Naomi Osaka, the new Olympic, tennis star. Okay. Half black, half Japanese. Okay. She grew up in Japan, and so she feels Japanese. Okay. My point is, we're not instilling what we need to be instilling in our kids. We're still letting other people instill what they want to instill in our kids and then hope that they get consciousness way after the fact. That is not the way forward, people. That is not the way forward. The way forward is to groom them at the start. Okay? At the start. At the start. Who would we all be if we went to Pan-African schools growing up? Huh? If we learned more of our history, if we were motivated and instilled. Those of you guys that went to universities, this is a second trivia question. Those of you guys that went to universities, what took you to your university? Okay, I'll start first, you guys, because it might take you a little bit to type this up. What attracted you to the university that you went to? So I'm going to be honest, okay? I went to the University of Cincinnati in Ohio. And I didn't want to go there, okay? I wanted to go to the University of Pittsburgh. The reason I wanted to go to the University of Pittsburgh was because I had an aunt that lived in Pittsburgh, okay? And one of the guys that I went to school with, one of the upperclassmen that was like I think he played basketball. He was really hot. He went to the University of Pittsburgh. So that's where I wanted to go. Okay? But my mom said, no, you can't go out of state. Because she wanted me to go somewhere local. She wanted me to go to Ohio State University. But Ohio State University is my mom's alma mater and my junior sister's alma mater. But I wanted to move away. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to have the real, university experience. So the University of Cincinnati was my last option. Okay, you know what I'm saying? My school counselor had advised that you apply to I think they said about 2 or 3 schools so you could fall back on one. So they told you apply for a state school, okay? And then they, what other schools you wanted to do. And then also out of state schools were higher tuition. So me going to University of Pittsburgh, it would have been, much more expensive and stuff like that. So anyway, that's how I ended up at the University of Cincinnati. Other people ended up at their universities because of advertisements. Okay. Maybe their parents went to that university. Okay. Maybe that university, they saw it on TV. They wanted to always go, was in their favorite TV show or whatever. Let's hear from the family. Let's hear some of the reasons that you selected the university that you went to. Big shout outs. Sarah C says the costs. Okay. So the cost determined the university that she went to. Dr. Sherry said the white people said it was a good school. S.A. Smith says it was located in the city where I wanted to live and it was my dream school. Okay, my point with this analogy, guys, is people get attracted because of what they hear, what they see, what they think they know. You know what I mean? Our young people in the diaspora, for instance, many of them have not cultivated an interest for the continent because they're not being groomed to see an interest. They're not seeing anything attractive. They're not seeing anything beautiful. They're not seeing the nightlife. They're not seeing the scenery. So in their mind, it's just a big jungle. They don't want to go. But trust me, a lot of people that have moved, for instance, to the continent, even with their kids absolutely love it. I have several friends that have brought their children and their kids absolutely love it. And the thing is, with the proper exposure, we can change the course. But the path that we're taking right now is not it. The path that we're taking is not it. Things have not changed because we have not changed. We've not changed our methodology. We've not changed our strategy. We've not changed our training. We've not changed our approach. We've not changed our education. We're still doing the same things and expecting something to change. What exactly is going to change, guys? We're on a merry-go-round. What is going to change the course of where we're going? Nothing. Except they cut the power and the merry-go-round goes off. That's it. The merry-go-round is never going to take a different route. It's going to keep going in circles. So big shout outs to the family, guys. Thank you, guys. Those of you that participated in my trivia questions today. We only have a couple college graduates here, unfortunately. But thank you guys for sharing that information. I just want to promote you guys, as always, to think. Okay? Start dissecting your life. Start dissecting the problems that are confronting you, and start addressing what are some realistic ways to change the course of this in the past. I find that, living in the West and being part of a minority group, you're always going to be at a disadvantage. And people are going to take advantage of you because they know that you are a disadvantage. There's a reason why regarding other ethnic communities, people behave differently because they feel like there's going to be a consequence if they mistreat them. If they mistreat the Jews, they know there's going to be some clapback. If they mistreat the Chinese, they know there's going to be some clapback. You know what I'm saying? These certain groups, they know that there's going to be a clap. They know there's not going to be any response with us. And that's why they play games the way they do. If they were scared of us leaving them behind and heading to the continent, the response will be different. What's up, Mr. Mike Joseph? Big shout outs to the fellas. Thank you so much for stopping by. What's up, family? I hope you guys have liked the stream. Okay, so this is my live stream. Let's be honest about the facts. The current situation that we're in. Why we're still in the situation that we're in. We're in the situation we're in because we haven't changed course. Like I gave you the example, 10 years ago was 2011. If even just for the last 10 years, the diaspora at large was focused on their African continent, different nations, whatever, we would see in 10 years difference. A lot can change in 10 years, guys. We're now in 2021, which means 10 years from now, a lot can be different, right? Depending on the movements that we take right here, right now. Okay? 2029 is not going to be the time to get started to see significant changes in a decade. Okay? That's 9 years in, almost to the end. You see, 2020 or 2021 is a great time to start working on those long-term goals to make them come to fruition. You start the business right now and you're able to maintain it and stand 10 years in, you're gonna be more established. Let's say you start the farm. You start building the property. Huh? Once you plant seeds and you take care of them and you cultivate them, you see fruit eventually. Nobody would go today to the shop and get an apple seed and expect to see apples tomorrow. No, plant seeds now, eat the fruit later. See our continent like that. For members of the diaspora, we're just getting acclimated. We're just turning our direction to the continent. A lot of people are just turning their interest to the continent recently, within the last few years or so. Okay? Start laying down your seeds now and reap them later. Okay? I've never in my life met someone who planted seeds decades ago and now reaping it and say, damn, I regret planting those seeds. I regret putting in the time. I regret establishing myself back then. Never. Never met a person who bought the stock when it was low and now it's high and they've made a lot of money and they say, man, I really regret putting in that $100, that $1,000. Start thinking with the long term, guys. I don't want my offspring to be victims of what I experienced growing up in America. I don't want, so I don't intend to put them in the environment. Hello. I don't want them to deal with low self-esteem and these kind of complexes and stuff that seem to be synonymous with growing up in the West. That's why we see so many Black people that have low self-esteem, don't think anything of themselves, have crazy directions in life. We can look at many foreigners from around the world and think, wow, these people are really ambitious. They're really self-aware. They're achieving their goals and blah, blah, blah. It has everything to do with the exposure and upbringing. Hello. So big shout outs, guys. Thank you so much for listening to me. Big shout outs to the family. Thank you so much for participating in our chat. Like I mentioned earlier, I did show just a brief advert of some of the new products. I'll run it again directly following this video. The African Superstar X Ghana collection is live on the website. I have over 200 new designs for men and women. So I encourage you guys to go over and check them out. I don't care what color you love. I made all colors, all designs, our original designs from theafricansuperstar.com. I ship worldwide. Okay. Wherever you live, I ship there. What's up, Mr. Frank? I see you. I'm wrapping up now. Stay tuned for the new products. Okay. Until we meet again, stay Black and true. If you ain't Black, just stay true.